welcome to episode 160 of your Concealed Taco Dudes podcast. Woo! We're pretty excited today. I'm back in town. Jason's back from stuff.
Yeah, I didn't go anywhere. I've just been buried.
Yeah, both of us have been super busy the last little while.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got some stories to tell. It's gonna be fun.
I'm sure you do. I have some announcements to make, but I haven't done anything super exciting.
All right, let's go ahead and knock out the sponsors real quick.
Okay.
NOEBulletMolds.com. They are actually running a sale right now, and I think the coupon codes are stackable, or discounts are stackable.
Wow. That
I
can be
believe
dangerous.
It is dangerous for him.
I know.
But yeah, and he's, I talked to him this morning, and they've already had like a bunch of orders, so
good.
It's good. I think they're needing a good sale.
Yeah.
So they are working on lots of cool stuff. Some of the, that one pot liner that we were talking about before. I don't know if I think I talked about it, but making a thicker pot or pot liner
to retrofit some of the other. Yeah,
the Lee Pro 420 pots, so that people could start using those for casting with zinc, So Al's been taking some measurements. He's got some materials, so he just needs to get the flanges for the top made, and then because he's got to get those laser cut, I believe. And then the bottom, what do you call those? Just the circles.
Yeah.
The bottom of the pot liner, and then weld those, and then machine holes and everything. So
wow.
Anyways, pretty exciting. I think he's going to build a prototype first, and of course
sure.
I'll be able to test that.
So are more people casting with zinc then?
It seems like there are more and more people who are experimenting with it, because it's a cheap or free metal.
Yeah.
And you can, there's certain properties of zinc that make it intriguing, like the lighter weight, harder, you don't have to coat it.
And the way it crunches when you bite into it.
And when you bite into it, it does crunch, just so you guys know.
It's like a Hershey's Crunch bar.
Yeah, no crackle, like a crackle bar.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, no. Anyways, so they're working on a lot of cool things. I think probably the latest cool thing that's actually purchasable is their latest series of bullet molds that have 4 sets of pins, including one of those sets being a hollow base.
Right.
And he's run those in 9mm, 357, 44 mag, and 458 or 459. So yeah, the ability to cast 4 different bullet weights with the same mold and the same nose, so you don't have to adjust your seating depth. It's actually really cool.
That is cool.
I don't think people have done that before, any other mold makers, so it's pretty innovative at the same time.
Cool.
So those are available for purchase, and if you can get this episode, listen to this in time, then that's a really good time to buy those, because then you get a discount, and if you stack that discount with our coupon code FLT001, it'll save even more dollars. So
wow.
We are talking about, I've been working with Al about a new design, kind of following those same, 4 different bullet weights with the same nose. We're doing people were requesting a 50 cal, like 50 cal for 500 Smith & Wesson, Beowulf, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so I don't have a truncated cone nosed 50 cal bullet mold, and so I thought that would be a cool one to do. And of course, I don't know, I have a little bit of sway on the design, but doing something different is always cool. And so we're gonna try and do a truncated cone nosed bullet mold and have a crimp groove for the 500 Smith & Wesson shooters, and then hopefully the design will work in other cartridges. Don't know.
Yeah.
But maybe the Beowulf, maybe I don't know, whatever. But I think starting out it'll be a 300 grain hollow base, and then that without the hollow base probably is around 350, then 400, and then 500. So those
Okay.
are the 4 bullet weights we're talking about. It's still in the initial design phases. So if you guys have some recommendations or something you really want, design changes, go ahead and head over to the NOE forums and make your voice heard and known. So
Very cool. Then we have Utah Air Guns at utahairguns.com. I was there a lot lately. They're gearing up for
the RMAC.
The RMAC,
Yeah.
the Rocky Mountain Air Gun Challenge, which is next month. Yeah, in June.
Yeah, that's going to be crazy.
And that just gets bigger and bigger every year.
I know. We should try and go, I guess, if I'm in town.
We should, yeah.
If I'm not in a canyon or on top of a mountain, then we should.
Same.
We should go.
June gets kind of crazy, but yeah, if you are around and interested in shooting it, you should go get on the website and register. It's a cool event. They do an incredible
just to
job.
participate is cool, and then
It's
you
cool to
can
just
win
go
prizes
watch,
too.
too.
Yeah.
Dude, not just they give out huge cash prizes.
Oh yeah, you got to be
Like
good though.
Hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Like Stan, he can't just buy a cheap air gun and then go compete and win.
Right.
When there's people flying in from all over the world, but
Literally all over the world.
yes,
Yeah.
to compete, and those people are
Yeah.
amazing shooters.
A few years ago, the guy that won the bench rest competition was the top center fire shooter for Russia.
Oh really?
Yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah.
And I think he took home $10,000.
Nice.
Yeah.
That is nice.
So it's a major thing. If you think air guns are still just toys and not something to take seriously, you need to jump on their website and take a look, because there's a lot more to them than you think.
Well, and when we get to our what we do with guns or / the topic, then I will have a lot to share with that.
Okay.
So I
Yeah.
used Utah Air Gun products this last weekend and laid waste to some vermin.
Nice.
We'll talk about that later.
Nice. But yeah, go check them out. Utah Air Guns, utahairguns.com. Use the code AirCandy. You'll get free shipping on your order and free turret stickers.
Nice. BlackIceCoatings.com.
Yeah.
I finally went down there.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
Guess what I took down there for him to work on?
I don't know.
The 308 Hog Hunter.
Oh.
So we're gonna get that all
the
done.
flying
with the
pigs?
flying pigs
All
and
right.
all that. So
Nice.
it was funny because there was another customer who was looking at all these gun coatings and I think it was a
All the
dad and a
different
daughter.
films and stuff.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
she's like, "Oh, I think I want this, but this one looks cool too." But
That's the issue I'm having with my daughter right now. I gave her all the parts to build a 300 Blackout rifle, and
she just can't decide on what she wants to do.
we haven't. It's just sat in the box since. And
Yeah,
I'm like,
'cause you wanna
just
get it-
pick something.
If you can, you want to get it coated beforehand.
Yeah. I don't want to put it together and then have to tear
take
it apart.
Yeah,
And do it over again.
So, anyways, the Hog Hunter, the Savage Hog Hunter, my 308 rifle, that bolt action that I have shot a lot with, and it should be done in time for our young men's shooting activity.
Oh, cool.
And that'll be fun to pull out this like pink flying pigs rifle called the Hog Hunter,
Yeah.
But we'll talk about this later. But yeah, I was just gonna remind me to talk about the Mark 22 pistol.
Oh.
The Mark Housekeeper.
Oh.
Mark 3.
Oh, okay.
The Mark. The Marky Mark.
The Marky Mark?
Yes.
Okay.
So, but yeah.
Didn't you take something else to him?
I did.
Coated? Okay.
And so this one, I wasn't sure if he could do it, but Lee can do a lot of magic.
Anything.
Yeah. So we have a lot of canyoneering stuff we're going to be doing with the youth of the church, our church, and the young men's group, and as well as the young women's group. So, anyways, I have a helmet, and I just wanted mine to be cooler.
You got to be better than everyone else.
I just wanted to be better than everybody else and have a better helmet.
Yeah.
And for people to say, ooh, that kind of thing. So I brought that down, and my climbing helmet, and so I picked out what I wanted him to do, because we were looking at a couple different films and stuff, and So I think he's gonna do a zombie green or lime green
Right.
coating base layer.
Yeah.
And then he's going to do those kind of the metallic skulls on
Okay.
top. And so in the sun, it should have kind of like a faint
Green
green
sheen to it.
Yes.
Okay.
Faint green metallic skulls on it.
Cool.
So he had this one, and I was like, I don't know. That might be tempting fate, but it's like just brains.
Oh, gosh.
So I was like, I don't know about that one. I like the skulls a little bit better.
Yeah.
But yeah, he said that he got, I can't remember, somebody or a couple people have used that. I think a catcher for a softball team.
Yeah.
He got the
He
brain
does a
one.
lot of helmets, softball
Yeah,
helmets
softball.
for the
Yeah.
leagues around town.
And it's just cool to have something that's, I have the same brand and model of helmet as like all my kids, and then we
Right.
found those on sale. So we got it for a bunch of the youth to use, and I'm like, I just want mine to be special.
Yeah.
So it will be special.
Nice.
So
Very
I'm
cool.
actually really excited about that. I'm excited to see like what the other people, the other leaders and
Yeah.
guys say when they see mine with all these like
Right.
green metallic skulls or whatever. And
Cool.
so I was excited. Lee's a great guy.
Yep.
He does really good work.
Does incredible work.
So if you guys
Go
are thinking
check
of
him out.
yeah, if you guys are thinking of getting a gun or
Anything.
automotive part or
Yeah.
a climbing helmet or whatever dipped,
I've
give him
got
a call.
I've got a good friend restoring an old MGB car.
Oh, okay.
And he's got stuff that he's gonna have Lee coat for him when he gets to that point of I think he's gonna do the dashboard in like one of those burled wood
Oh,
looks,
yeah.
because it's an English vehicle, so traditionally they had a lot of fancy wood components and stuff.
Oh
so
yeah.
it's gonna be cool.
Lee was showing me one of his builds. He was restoring one of his, I think it was like an older family gun or something.
Uh-huh.
And so he put he dipped the polymer stock so it looks like wood.
Nice.
I think Al did that too, and it
Yeah.
actually looks really
They
good.
do.
And
The wood graphics that they have are really impressive.
yeah. So
Maybe that's what I'll just take my daughter's rifle and that's what I'll do.
just get the whole
Make it
thing
look like wood.
Yeah. Get the barrel dip too, so
Yeah.
it's like a wood barrel. That would be awesome.
Maybe I should make it look like a number 2 pencil.
Yeah.
have the barrel be the lead.
yellowish, and then have the lead. Yeah. I don't know.
That'd make her mad.
Yeah. You should just pick something really ugly and say, "Hey, I'm taking this. You have
this is
till
what we're
tomorrow
doing. Yeah.
to pick something different. Otherwise, this is the default."
Yeah. Yeah.
So, anyways, contact Black Ice Coatings
Yep.
and
Follow them on
follow
Instagram.
them on Instagram. That's where they have the most pictures.
where they post a lot
I think
of
their
their stuff.
website is lacking the pictures right now.
Yeah, I think it is too.
So,
But yeah, if you have questions or want something done, just give them a call and they'll get you set up.
okay.
Magholder,
Magholder.com.
They're now shipping double stack 45 and 10 millimeter mag holders.
Oh, nice.
So there's a little bit of an issue with, like, for the XDM, it just didn't hold well enough, and so I shouldn't say I mentioned to them that because they don't have a catch on the side of the magazine, like a lot of them, it's on the bottom, and the way the mag holder's designed, there isn't a way to put a detent in there.
Yeah.
And I reminded him, I said, well, I know Mark, when he was at mag holder, there were a couple of models that he would put a rivet in the bottom of the mag holder, and that would catch it.
Oh,
And so
nice.
he's like, oh, yeah. And so he did that for mine, and works great.
Totally
now.
fixed it.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
So
cool.
anyway, check them out. The horizontal mag carriers, for everyday carry, they're freaking awesome because your magazine doesn't sit there and poke you in the side all day. You'll forget it's even there, but it's there when you need it.
Yep.
So go check them out.
Use coupon code Get in the Van. I have candy.
Yep. And I think it's like 15 or 20% or something like that.
Yeah.
And then Concealment Solutions at concealmentsolutions.com. We have a brand new website, and it's really pretty cool. So if you haven't checked out the website recently, you should jump on there and take a look. We've added some new items. So the new Python EDC belt. It's a webbing belt, double-layered webbing belt with a polymer stiffener in it. So it is super comfortable, super functional for carrying the weight of a gun and whatever other utility Batman stuff you carry with you every day. But the cool thing is the buckle. The buckle looks a lot like some of the Cobra style buckles that you can see out there, metal buckles. But this one, and I looked long and hard to find the best buckle, best functioning piece for what I wanted. This, instead of having to weave your belt through, and then if you get it too tight, you have to undo it and loosen it, or too loose, you got to tighten it and everything. It has a cam on it. So you flip the lever, tighten your belt down, lock down the cam, you're good to go. When you need to take your belt off or go to the bathroom or whatever, there's 2 buttons that you pinch, opens up the buckle, put it back on, and it's exactly where it was before.
Yeah.
That's what's really cool about it.
Yeah, I've actually asked Jason if I could get a second one.
Yeah.
I want one for my shorts and then one for my pants. That's
my father-in-law, at least with his like dress pants, he has a belt for every single one of them, and it just lives on the... you look in his closet, and all his pants are hanging there, and they all have a belt on them already.
Oh, that's funny. I do something similar.
Yeah.
So
I have had people ask me if I'm going to do Coyote, and yes, eventually we will do a Coyote. But this initial run, we just gotta move some, and we are. But eventually we'll offer one in Coyote and black. The buckles are still going to be black. I might even keep the stitching black. I don't know if I'll match keep the stitching with the buckle or with the webbing when we get to that point.
Yeah.
But anyway, so those are super cool. Check them out. They are marked down $10 right now, so you can get them for $49. And then I've been wanting to expand the website for a long time with stuff outside of the gun realm, I guess you could say. I'm big into prepping and bushcrafting and that kind of stuff, and so I've got a line of bushcraft knives that are now on the website. They took me forever. The last couple of weeks have been super nuts, stressful for me. So they didn't get listed as quickly as I wanted them to. But these knives are handmade. Most of them are high carbon steel. There's 1 or 2, I believe, that are stainless. But I like high carbon steel because it holds an edge super well. They're easy to sharpen. Anyway, they're handmade. They're out of Ukraine, which I think is kind of cool with what Ukraine's going through right now. But they're very, very good functional knives. And what's really cool about it is you go on the website, you pick the knife that you want, and then there's a couple drop-down menus. One, you'll pick whether you want it to be right or left-hand carry, so it's going to sit on your right side or your left side. And then the other one, you pick whatever color or pattern of Kydex that you want for it. So it's a basic fold-over design that has a leather loop attached to it to run through your belt. Then I have another product that I'm calling our flamethrower ferro rod. I don't know if you've played with your ferro rod.
Oh yeah,
yet.
I have.
Those things throw sparks like crazy.
Yeah,
these ferro rods are a half an inch around, and they're about 5 to 6 inches long with the handle. So I make hardwood handles that I epoxy onto the end and then shape them so it's a nice comfortable handle to hold on to. The knives, the back of the knife, the spine is squared off so that you can strike a ferro rod. Anyway, so there's another listing. You can buy the ferro rod with an integrated sheath that mounts onto the sheath of the knife so that it's all one piece, and it's very compact, it's very convenient. And what's super cool is in Kydex, so as you use your ferro rod, it's going to get smaller, right?
Yeah.
And it'll start to get loose in the little pocket, the Kydex pocket. It's really easy to just put some heat on that little kydex of the pocket and pinch it down a little bit more, and then you get a good fit again.
So what you're saying is,
As
you use the ferro rod
Uh-huh.
a bunch, and it shrinks.
Uh-huh.
Then you use the ferro rod to make a fire.
No.
And then you hold the kydex over the fire.
Use a heat gun. Use a heat gun on a very low setting and take your time and be patient and just get it so
no
it just
fire.
barely moves. Yes. But as opposed to a leather sheath, because there's others out there that'll have a little leather sleeve that you can slide it into, but you can't adjust those.
Yeah.
So anyway, the knives, most of them are $49.99. So $50 you get the knife in a sheath, and then for another $25 you get the ferro rod and the carrier for the ferro rod that is
cool.
integrated into your sheath. Now, keep in mind, if you want the ferro rod and integrated into your sheath, you need to order the sheath at the same time. These are all handmade. There's a little bit of differences in them on how where the eyelets are and stuff, just because I like freeform. Okay?
It's not a
I don't
machine
sit there with a
stamped thing.
jig and stamped out stuff that,
Handmade.
everything's handmade. So there's a little bit of difference in them. And so if you order the ferro rod and its sheath after you have ordered the knife with its sheath, it's going to be hard to get it to line up perfect and to work the way you need it to.
I've already got one of these as bought one for a gift for my fellow youth volunteer outdoorsman buddy, and he thought it was the coolest thing. These things make really good gifts. So if you have a family member or a friend that you don't mind spending a little bit more on,
and for the quality that you're getting for the price you're paying, it's worth buying it and throwing it in a bug out bag.
Yeah.
Because sometimes with our bug out stuff, I'm like, well, I don't want to put that in there because I use that all the time. Or, I might use it every, a couple times a month, and it's a pain to have to go pull it out and then put it back in and stuff like that. So this is something that isn't going to break the bank, that's going to be super high quality and is going to take care of things when you need it to. And to have it, throw it in there, and it's there when you need it, is a really good option.
Yeah, I actually take it on all trips.
Me too.
Like road trips or whatever.
Yeah.
I just throw it in my car. Just in case.
I have stuff that lives in my car. I have stuff that lives in bug out bags.
What's funny is sometimes you'll go on some kind of a trip or something, or you go camping or whatever, and someone forgets to bring like a lighter or something. It's like, well, this isn't like a flame lighter, but I could start. I could start a fire. I could light a gas grill, whatever. You can make things work with this.
What's funny about that is last year. So our young men's group was going to Zion's, and they were going to do some canyoneering and stuff, and I couldn't be there for the whole trip, but I came out for a couple of days, and I was there for the first day, and my Forerunner, I have stuff that just lives in my Forerunner, more or less like bug out stuff. If I had to, I would be fine for several days if I had to just live out of my vehicle if I got stranded somewhere or whatever. And so it's nice because when I'm going camping, and this was kind of like, I was busy, I just grabbed a sleeping bag, my hammock, threw a few things in, my canyoneering stuff, and that was about it. They had all the food, so I didn't have to really worry about that. And I knew, I've got enough stuff in there that if I need something, I got it. And so these guys, they're like, okay. So when we take the boys out, it's their trip, and they plan it, and they're the ones doing stuff. We're not the type that come out and it's like, we're making all their meals.
I'm not your mom.
Exactly.
I'm not your dad.
This isn't a vacation. This isn't a resort vacation for you. You're here to learn stuff.
Yeah.
And so they plan everything, and so they're like, all right, well, let's start making dinner. And they're like, did anybody bring matches? And so I just sit there, and they're like looking here and looking there. Oh, I think, somebody, I don't know. And I'm like, would you like to borrow my lighter? Oh, you have a lighter? Like, yes, I have a couple of lighters.
Yep.
So I'm like, here you go. And so they start their fire, and they get it going, and then I think after they cook stuff. They, well, we need to clean this, and let's boil some water. And they're like, oh, we don't have a pot. Does anybody? I don't. And I just let them sweat it for a minute, and I'm like, would you like to borrow mine? Oh, you have a pot? Yes, I have a pot. And then they're trying to clean, like, does anybody have any? I'm like, I have a scrubby. Would you like to borrow that too? Yeah, thanks. You know? I'm like, so it was kind of cool. It made me feel good that I'm like, hey, I have the stuff we need, you know? And they learned something like, okay, we need to think about things a little more and be a little bit better prepared. Not that they couldn't have made do without the things that I provided, but it made it easier.
You gotta let them sweat it a little bit too, because then they remember.
Yeah.
If you just hand it over right away, then they'll forget next time.
Exactly.
But
exactly.
I keep a similar bin in my vehicle that I drive, and it has a lot of stuff like that, like some extra paracord, and a little fire starter kit, and you know, a little down blanket that folds up into a pillow, and
nice.
You know, just like a lot of that random stuff. And on this last trip I took, I had forgotten to pack like a spoon, and I had a little yogurt thing. I'm like, oh, I think I have the little CRKT eating tool.
The eating tool?
Yeah, so I busted out the eating tool. And you know,
better than
it is better than like folding the lid and trying to scoop it out and whatever.
More than once, I have been on a multi-day bike packing trip, and I've carved a spoon because I forgot one, you know, or flattened out a stick, and I'm like, that'll work.
Yeah.
So it happens. Anyway, we were talking about concealment solutions. Go check out the new website. Let me know what you think. If you find a flaw or something that's not right, let me know so we can fix it.
Yeah.
A couple of people have done that, and that's been appreciated.
Use coupon code Show Me the Candy.
Show Me the Candy. You'll save 15%.
All right.
And that'll even work on the knives and the belts that are already
discounted.
Pretty good prices. Yeah. So anyway, that's all I have.
Okay, let's move on to... So we don't have any...
I do have one listener feedback.
Okay.
That I got... somebody emailed me. Jonathan emailed me and said, hey, I just listened to 159 episodes of the Concealed Taco Dudes podcast in the last few months. So he has binged 159 episodes and said, in his words, it has become one of my all-time favorite podcasts. I was like, well, there's definitely some brain damage going on there. With that amount of binging can't be healthy.
Yeah.
But anyway.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Thanks, Jonathan. And he pointed out a weird glitch. He had a few things in his shopping cart, and he said, as soon as I go to check out with those items in the shopping cart, the only shipping option is in-store pickup. And I was like, oh, that's weird. So
he found a bug.
We got that fixed, and I gave him a code to give 20% off his order.
Ooh, nice.
For helping me out.
Yeah, so look for bugs.
If you find something weird like that, let me know. I'll take care of you for helping me. But anyway, that was the feedback that I had.
All right. Okay, we have a news story.
Oh, yes, we do. This one is interesting. A police chase spanning 2 states and 5 counties came to a dramatic end when a store clerk shot the suspect 8 times. The chase began just north of Orlando, Florida, and ended in southeast Georgia. According to authorities, it all started when Quintavis Jordan robbed a Shell gas station in Flagler County, Florida, taking $90 in cash. Jordan then demanded items from the store before leaving. So, $90. All right, give me some Slim Jims, and I want a Slurpee, and something else. Now, this wasn't in what I'm going to tell you next. Wasn't in the written, but there was a report, a video report that I watched also. So some of the items he demanded were quarters, so he could put them in the machine outside and air up his tires, and to put a cash amount on one of the pumps outside so he could fill up his car. So he robs the place. All right, give me some quarters. I need some air in my tires. and put 50 bucks on pump 12 so I can gas up.
Oh my goodness.
So he goes, airs up his tires, and I'm thinking, where the heck are the cops?
Yeah.
What is taking him so long that this guy can fill up his tank and air up his tires? Anyway, he takes off, munching on a Slim Jim, sucking down his Slurpee. Officers arrived after Jordan left and initiated a bolo for surrounding agencies. For those of you who don't know what a bolo is, it's one of those little Western ties. It's leather straps and has the slide on it.
Yeah, it's like basically a shoelace with a little thing on top to hold in place.
I don't know what a bolo is in this context, but that's what I'm picturing. Is all the cops had to put on the little cowboy ties.
No, you issue a bolo to let people know what you're looking for.
Okay,
like we're looking for,
this car,
5'10", white male with black hair driving a black SUV, whatever.
With a full tank of gas and fully aired up tires.
That's what the bolo is used for.
Jordan's car was spotted traveling northbound on I-95 in St. Johns County, Florida. The Florida Highway Patrol, along with local agencies, followed his car through their counties until he reached the Florida-Georgia line. The Camden County Sheriff's Office took over the chase, and the Kingsland Police Department used a stop stick to stop Jordan's vehicle. Jordan, so his tires that he just aired up,
they're
now ruined.
They're flat again.
Yeah, so apparently they're not giving very good details. So they stopped his vehicle.
Yes.
And the next sentence says, Jordan went to the Friendly Express.
The Friendly Express gas station?
Yeah, he went to the Friendly Express and demanded the clerk's car keys.
Oh.
He then took their car and started to flee, but crashed it through the front of the store. I'm thinking, that's pretty... You gotta be pretty messed up to...
I got it. I know what happened.
What happened?
He's a millennial, and it was a manual transmission.
And it was in gear when he started it.
So he
drove through the front door. Okay, that makes sense. Slurpee and Slim Jims went everywhere. So, and this whole time I'm thinking, the cops just stopped his car with stop sticks. Where are they?
Yeah.
So he goes inside, gets this guy's car keys, jumps in, crashes his car. Then Jordan got out of the car and got into a fight with the clerk.
For crashing his car.
I guess. The clerk then shot the suspect several times.
Oh.
So I'm thinking, this guy was cool enough. This guy came and demanded his keys. He could have shot him then. I don't know if it would have been justified at that point, and he obviously decided that it wasn't.
Yeah.
Once the guy drives into his building and starts picking a fight with him, he's feeling threatened.
Yeah.
As you would. Shoots him 8 times. The Flagler County Sheriff, Rick Staley, released a statement commending the Georgia store clerk that put an end to Jordan's crime spree. If he survives his injuries, he should spend a long time in prison.
Yeah.
But there were some interesting things. It seems like the police weren't... I don't want to criticize the police because I don't know what's going on. But it just seems weird that, okay, they stopped his vehicle with stop sticks, and maybe he drove and then ran half a mile on flat tires.
It could have happened really fast too.
It probably did.
So they're all parked.
But even the first one, he robs the place, and the guy's on the phone the second he walks out the front door, and he has time to air up his tires and fill up his car before he leaves.
Yeah, it's too bad that guy didn't have like a shotgun.
Yeah.
And then only put $1 on the gas pump, and then when he comes back in, that's where you present him with the shotgun and say, "Hey."
Yeah, that would have been a good plan, is to not put very much money on it, because he probably couldn't see how much he was doing, and that would have
$1
delayed him a little bit more. And
you get $1.
Yeah. Anyway, I thought that was a pretty interesting story.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on to what we did with guns / the topic.
Okay. I'll start because I'll be quick. I have been... The last few weeks have been super stressful and busy for me. I am looking for a new shop space. So if you're in the area, Orem area, and you know of something, let me know. I have some good leads on some places. They just don't have any openings right away, but should in the next few months. But that means I get to move again.
Yeah.
Which I'm not excited about. I'm excited about getting in a new place because the places I'm looking at will have room for a storefront as well as a much bigger and better shop space. So I'm excited about that. I spent 25 years in retail, and so that's kind of my thing. Although I haven't done it for the last 20 years.
Yeah.
But it's I'm excited about the possibilities and expanding the business and offering more stuff and having a place where people can come in, see product on display,
Yeah.
put their hands on things. That's not, a lot of times people come in, which is great. Do you have one I can try on? And it's like I'm digging through things and I find some old one that's been kicking around. Oh, you can try this on. So it'll be it'll be cleaner and just a better environment. But so I'm excited about that. But there was a point where I thought I was going to have to move immediately, and that was absolutely stressing me out. And so I have not been able to do very much with guns. I did spend some time at Utah Air Guns. I have a Notos.
Oh, you picked one up?
No.
Oh.
They don't have any.
I bought the last one.
I know. But
if you want to borrow mine, let me know.
They're coming. They were supposed to be here this month. Now they're supposed to be here next month.
Okay.
So I've on in the system, so they'll let me know as soon as they come in, and
yeah, you can try my cheap El Cheapo setup.
Yeah.
With the.
Are you happy with?
I don't know. I shot it enough to sight it in, and then I'm like, that's good enough. I'm going to use that gun. Not when I have the other ones I got.
True.
So
true.
You may call me an airgun snob, but once you shoot nice stuff, then
yeah,
it's
depends on what you're doing.
Yeah.
And where you're shooting.
Well, and the thing is like the reason I bought it was so that I could have a spare, a loaner for when I take either the young men's group
for
shooting.
The accuracy on that thing are really pretty amazing, and that's why they can't keep them in stock.
Yeah,
because people are now finding out about it.
It has a lot of features,
and,
it
holy
doesn't
crap.
cost much.
Yeah,
it's like a perfect stand gun,
Yeah,
air gun for stand to get started.
It's a gateway gun.
Yeah, I mean, I'm more of a buy once cry once guy, but
yeah,
stands like El Cheapo, like
yeah.
And then realize that doesn't work, and then buy another one. It's just a little bit better.
I'm somewhere in the middle. I appreciate value-based stuff, which that Notos is, but I also appreciate the nicer stuff as well. But anyway,
for me, it depends on if I'm using it or if
someone else is using it.
That 12-year-old kid is using it or whatever. I've had some of my stuff not be treated as well as I treat my stuff.
As have I, yes.
And so that's why those loaners are important.
Right, yeah. So anyway, I did that. I did pick up a shooting stick.
Ooh, the tripod one?
Yeah.
Yeah, those are nice.
Why can't I think of the brand now?
Yeah.
I can see the logo.
You pull the Primos.
The Primo. Yeah. Primo shooting stick.
Yeah, you pull the trigger and
it drops
out and
yeah, they're pretty nice. I haven't had a chance to play with it much, but anyway.
Yeah, those are nice. I used mine quite a bit this last weekend.
Yeah, and then Utah Air Guns, actually, when I was in there talking to Fish about the Notos, so they told me they ordered their air tank carriers for a Yarmac.
Mm-hmm.
So they wanted 20 of them so that they can put tanks in them and have them at all the shooting stations.
Yeah.
And then they have people that just fill them all day long. But those are cool because after Armac, they sell the tank with a brand new tank and a brand new Concealment Solutions air tank caddy as used because they used it for the weekend.
Yeah.
And I think they knock like $100 off of the package or something.
Yeah, my brother's waiting for that.
Yeah.
He told me to grab one of those after Armac.
Yeah. So if you're in the market, be aware and pounce on that.
Just wait till after I get mine.
Yeah. So anyway, I did that. Still waiting for Gene to get my Browning Challenger 2 pistol back to me.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's moved to North Carolina yet or not. He's supposed to this spring. They haven't probably melted out yet up there.
Oh, yeah.
It had about 12 feet of snow in the yard.
Yeah, Wyoming, Utah. Utah got hit like crazy with snow this year.
Yeah, everything's flooding, and except where I'm at. I'm up on the hill. I'm good.
Yep.
But
my turn?
yeah, that's all I've got to talk about. Played
Okay.
with knives a lot. Been posting pictures of a lot of different knives I've been doing.
All right, so for what I did with guns, I've done a lot of stuff. I did pick up the other bullet mold.
Yeah.
You know, because I wanted to get one of each of those the new ones.
Yeah.
the
hollow base.
hollow base 4-pin setup.
Mm-hmm.
So I got the 44 mag, the 357, and the 9mm, and the 458.
So you have all of them.
I have all of them. Just waiting on that 50 cal. And so I haven't been able to cast with them yet, but I've been doing the prep, like heat cycling them and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But I did go on a trip. We'll just say it's an undisclosed location to help out with some people and a problem with vermin. That wasn't the purpose that I went on the trip. It was just an additional benefit.
Yes.
And so at this place, this location, private property.
This is a farm?
A farm.
Okay.
Yes. They were having problems with, some birds as well as...
birds damaging the product?
Yeah, the birds are more like they don't damage it right now. It's when harvest comes,
right.
when the fruit is on, then that's when the birds do the damage.
Right.
But there were tons of birds, primarily starlings that are legal to shoot, and there are so many of those.
Yeah.
So my brother and I, we took our air guns. I took my air gun with me to this trip
Mm-hmm.
and we shot all day. We thought we were gonna just shoot for like a couple hours,
But you were having too much fun murdering?
Yes, vermin. And there was this one area where they were having these wild rabbits come in and kill the trees.
Oh,
so
wow.
It's a nursery area where they grow trees, like fruit trees.
There's the new startups?
Yeah, and I guess most people don't know how fruit trees are grown or made.
Yeah.
Because you don't just take
fruit just comes from the grocery store.
Yeah, well, you don't just take like an apple seed and then plant it and raise it into a tree.
Johnny did.
Yeah, those are the junky apples. So with the way they do, build trees or make trees, you actually take a root system from a tree and you graft in the wood from the type of fruit you want to
Even
grow.
if it's not the same species of tree?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, so the root system is different from the...
From the
yeah.
host is different from the whatever's being grafted
Yeah,
in.
and so what's interesting about, how that fruit stuff works is, I don't know if you've been to some of the places where you can buy, like, say, a cherry tree.
Okay.
And it will have one branch that grows one kind of cherries and another branch that grows
another kind. I have seen that in apples and stuff like that. It's really kind of cool.
And so what determines what the tree is or what it will produce is the wood, so the branch.
Yeah. Sure.
Anyways, that's
our biology lesson.
grafting 101 on fruit trees, but
okay. So the rabbits are getting into those?
Yes, and so when they graft these, the apple branch into the root system, these things are short.
Yeah.
And, because, you just take a little bit, graft it in, and you build a tree out of it, and then you let it grow, and then you
where you want.
You dig it up, and then you sell it to, like, orchardists or whoever's needing that variety of fruit trees.
Okay.
So we went to the nursery, and they were having problems where these wild rabbits were coming in and they just gnaw on the bottom because that's the height that they're at, and it just kills the tree.
Oh.
And so these wild rabbits were causing all these, a lot of money's worth of damage to all these newly built trees.
Yeah.
And so we went out there, and they had actually burned in this location. You know, out in the farm areas, you can burn and
controlled burns.
Yeah, controlled burns. You burn the wheat fields, burn old stuff down. So they had burnt all the surrounding, like, kind of weedy areas that the rabbits were living in and hiding in.
Okay.
And even after that, though, my brother and I, we found 2 rabbits in the burnt area, you know, hiding in some old tube or pipes and stuff. And so we got those 2, and then we followed the trail, and nearby there was this kind of a junk dump area where, you know, they dumped broken up concrete and rocks, and, you know, and then another place where they had dumped a bunch of trees, like cut up trees and stuff.
Okay. So they were creating a rabbit condominium complex.
Yes. Yeah. Unintended, right? And so we went over there, and it was right about dusk, and we just kept going from one side to the other, like from this concrete dump pile to this, wood pile that, I mean, they're really, really big.
Yeah.
And we ended up getting over 37 rabbits.
Wow.
And so...
And what were you shooting? Your crown?
Yeah, so we were just shooting the Hades pellets.
Okay.
And shooting...
22s?
22s.
Okay.
And we were using two of the crowns, and...
I assume mostly headshots?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And what distances?
Probably max distance was about 45 yards.
Okay.
And then the closer distances, we had the high ground, and we're shooting down.
Yeah.
And so we could, you know, kind of sneak up on them without them seeing too much.
Yeah.
And so one of the crazy things is that with rabbits, one of their first reactions is to just freeze.
Yeah.
Right? That's great for people who are trying to shoot rabbits.
Right.
You know, you might spot one with movement, but a lot of times you just have to just look and then spot it. And, you know, my brother was walking first, and sometimes he'd see stuff, and sometimes he'd bypass one and I'd see it, you know, and vice versa. When we were walking the other way, then, you know, I'd bypass one and he'd see it. So having multiple sets of eyes was kind of nice. But yeah, so headshots, those were the best, you know, but actually if you do a headshot, then they start doing the flop.
Yeah.
Right? And so it's actually better if you get a neck shot.
Okay.
And they just knock over dead, you know.
Interesting.
If you hit them in the, you know, spine or whatever.
Yeah.
But so once they start doing the flop, then all the others start running.
Yeah.
And then you gotta leave the area and then come back.
Yeah.
But there was one point where we saw 2 at the same time. And so we did we're like, okay, you get the one on the left, I'll get the one on the right. All right, and we'll do 3, 2, 1, and when I say shoot, that's when you shoot. So,
okay.
And so we did that, you know, 3, 2, 1, shoot, and then we ended up pulling the trigger about the same time. Both rabbits just flopped over backwards, dead. It was synchronized shooting, synchronized air gun shooting. So,
nice.
Anyways, we were able to get a bunch of those. And then we got 7 rock chucks, and we got probably 3-digit on the birds.
Wow.
So we were able to hopefully make a difference.
Yeah.
At least I know that we made a difference for that nursery.
Yeah.
Because shooting that many rabbits, as you know, those were the ones that were causing the damage
the most
to
damage right now. Nice.
So anyways, that was a kind of a productive little trip.
Yeah.
And it was nice to be able to use, you know, I swear I shoot that crown more than like any of my real guns or air guns. I shoot that one the most.
Yeah.
And so it's been very effective. And sometimes when people see my crown and they see that I have like I have like the Razor HD LHT, so the lightweight hunter. It's a nice scope, and it's lightweight, but it has really good glass.
Yeah.
They find out how much I spent on that, and then
think you're crazy.
Yeah, and then on the air gun too, and they're just like, "Oh man, you're crazy!" Like that's like you could have a decent long range setup,
right?
You know, for that. But it's like I shoot this way more, and on the days when you're like looking through a scope, like for all day long, then why not have, maybe not the best optics, but why not have
something
some of the
decent,
best,
yeah.
so that it helps, as your eyes get older and stuff. Like I'm, 44,
Yeah.
so, as my eyes are getting older, they don't work quite as good, so,
Sure.
looking through good glass helps
Yeah.
with the eye fatigue and stuff, so.
Cool.
Yeah, anyways, that was a quite the eventful,
Sounds like it.
hunt or slaughter of vermin.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
but, yeah, that's air guns. There's a lot of, if we had 22s, for the rabbit shooting,
Uh-huh.
that would have worked, but you couldn't take some of the angles of those
Right.
shots. But with the air guns, you can take
Because
shots.
Because you're shooting a lighter pellet, and it doesn't.
Yeah.
The projectile doesn't carry as far, and things like that. Yeah.
It's a lighter weight, plus with the shape of it,
Yeah.
they lose energy faster.
Well, and they dump their energy into what they hit quite well.
Yes, that Hades pellet does really well.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, but
With its little radioactive symbol on the end of it.
yes, I was surprised. Like so the rock checks, those are quite a bit bigger,
Yeah.
and so those were headshots.
Yeah.
And we kind of snuck through this one orchard, and there was a bigger tree that we kind of used as our way to get closer to them,
Uh-huh.
to shorten the distance, and those were, I think, about 40 yards.
Okay.
So you had to just hold a little bit, but headshots only on those things, and you see the little head pop up,
Yeah.
and then you just pull the trigger.
Uh-huh.
But yeah. Anyways, yeah, we're also commenting with like how much we're shooting, just carrying one of those air tanks with us, and then a couple tins of pellets.
Yeah.
It's a lot cheaper than say carrying a 17 HMR and
Or even a 22.
yeah, true.
It's
So the propulsion is free, and you just pay for the pellet.
yeah.
So, but I do have a ground squirrel hunt coming up where we are using 17s.
Yeah.
And I do enjoy shooting both, like
Yeah.
real guns and air guns. I feel like there's definite pros and cons for both.
Sure.
And purposes, or
Yep.
places, like I know that the Utah air gun guys, they will tune their air guns with slugs and
Yeah.
stuff, and they'll shoot those pretty far.
Yeah.
But for kind of just handing it to a noob,
yeah.
like give him a 17 HMR and say, it's such a flat shooter. You just
Yeah.
aim at it, pull the trigger,
Right.
blow it up. So
Cool. Well, I think we're about out of time.
I think so. So anyways, until next time.
Yes, we'll try to be a little more consistent.
Yeah.
We
I told Al we
apologize
need
for
to,
the long silence.
I told Al we need to get him on and talk about some bullet molds and what NOE's up to, and
Yeah.
we need to get a couple more guests on, and you
Yep.
get Stan and Carl back on.
Yeah, they're supposed to be going out again together, so their schedules will line up.
I almost forgot the Marky Mark.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so also what I did with guns is I ended up, before my trip, I took another young men's group, or scouts group,
Uh-huh.
shooting, and they had all this stuff. Like, I brought way too much stuff.
You always do.
I always do. But one of the cool guns that I brought was the Marky Mark, the Mark Housekeeper
The Mark IV?
Ruger Mark III.
Is it a Mark III?
Yeah, Mark
okay.
III, that was engraved.
Get in the
van.
I have
candy on the barrel, and so it was cool because I got to tell this story about where I got the gun, why it says
Why it says that.
"Get in the van, I have candy," and
Cool.
who Mark was, and anyways, is a
Good.
cool thing. Like, to I could see Mark probably looking down from heaven, like, see, I told you the 22 pistol was the right gun.
Yeah.
The right gun for you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it wasn't even that long before taking a
Cool.
group of youth out and shooting and
Yeah.
enjoying that gun. So,
That's awesome.
okay, till next time, stay safe, have fun.
Be nice to people and take somebody shooting.
So it's
Zion's is becoming a mess.
Yeah, it's like the modern day Disneyland of outdoors, which like I usually try and avoid people when I go outdoors and stuff.
Right. That's why I don't ever go to the national parks.
Yeah. Capitol Reef is a good one.
Yeah.
You can avoid a lot of people going there.